Welcome to Backyard Cigars, and today I have a cigar that a gentleman by the name of Clyde said I should smoke. So I'm smoking this today because Clyde said so, and he said you won't regret it. It's one of my favorite cigars, and you've got to find it and you should review it. And he wasn't so forceful as I'm exaggerating a bit. He was actually a very laid back gentleman. We were at a local cigar lounge in New York City, and he was talking amongst us, or we were talking amongst him, and the subject came up about certain cigars, and he brought this one up. This cigar is Laranja, Espinosa's Laranja Reserva Corona Gorda. Don't let the Corona Gorda part fool you. It's 5 and 5/8 by 46, so it's pretty much a Corona Vitola, and it sports a rare Brazilian wrapper, Nicaraguan binder, and Nicaraguan filler. And this cigar, of course, none other than Eric Espinosa of Espinosa Cigars. So I'm gonna just remove this footband here, get acquainted with this cigar, and then get reacquainted with you. Now we know because of the Corona Vitola size that the whole wrapper to ratio, wrapper to filler ratio, is going to allow us to taste and experience the wrapper's flavor profile in a way that we normally would not. So when I spoke to Clyde about this, and I said, "Yeah, I'm gonna definitely. I promise you, I'm gonna buy one, and I'm gonna smoke. I'm gonna lay it down for a little bit, and then I'm gonna smoke it and review it, of course." And he says, "No, don't just buy one, buy several. You'll thank me." Well, he didn't say you'll thank me for it, but here I am saying to him, "Yeah, maybe I should be thanking you for that." They were, not as easy to get as I thought they would be, not as available as I thought they would be, but I did find them. And then when I did find them, I said, let me get a few. And then there were a few sizes that, or I believe one size that I could not buy. So I said, okay, I can get the double Robusto and the Corona Gorda. So I got two of these, and I got one of the double Robusto. So I've had them in the humidor now for about a month and a half. Sorry, Clyde. I know it's taken a while for me to put this review out, but I'm sure that you have found things to do in the meantime while you were waiting. I've smoked one already, so I've had an experience with it already, and I'm having the same experience from the beginning now as I did in my last experience with it. I think I smoked it about two weeks ago. And I'm not gonna kid you. I mean, I think I felt it the first time. I'm feeling it now. There's this citrusy, salty, citrusy kind of flavor that I'm picking up. Now, look, guys, Laranja translates to orange in Portuguese. And Laranja, I understood it right away because it's so similar to naranja in Spanish, also for orange. And it's got the orange theme going. You saw the orange footband. The wrapper, the inspiration for the name actually came from the wrapper because Eric Espinosa found this rare Brazilian wrapper in Bahia, Brazil, and it had an orange hue to it. So that's why they went with the name Laranja. But further than that, I think that there is something in the blend, or perhaps in the very wrapper itself, that gives off these citrusy notes. And I thought I was alone after my first smoking experience with the cigar, so I kind of looked up what other folks were saying about it, and they said the same thing. And not just one or two, but several all said the same thing. We don't know if it's subliminal or whatever, or if it's just in our heads, but this is what I think I'm tasting. And I thought the same thing after I smoked it the first time. Now I'm here knowing almost for certain that no, this is intended. This is part of the flavor profile. This isn't in our heads. And because I'm experiencing it again, I'm even more sure about it. Now, these cigars have been out for several years now. They're not considered unicorns, but they're popular and they have a following. And I can see why. That initial burst of citrus, followed by some cedar hints, and followed by a little, I guess, I don't know, like a salty wood note. It's intriguing. It's definitely a different flavor profile than I would normally have, and I would go as far as to say that it's a lot different than a lot of cigars that I've had this summer. And mind you, this is the first time me trying it. Clyde discovered it probably years ago, so he knew about this, and thank you for sharing this little gem with me. I'm saying this already because I already had an experience with it and it was very enjoyable. But this one I'm sharing with you, and I'm detailing and describing what I experienced more or less the first time around, because it's identical. Nothing's changed here. All of the same flavors and notes are the same. And I know that I'm barely getting into that first inch, but it's literally going along the same way that I experienced the first time. Decent draw, not too open, not too tight, sort of in the middle, just right, right? And yeah, let's talk about that band, man. It's beautiful, orange and gold. The hue of the wrapper obviously goes very well with the band. So visually, it's a very intriguing cigar because visually it catches your eye. This is going to catch your eye on the shelf for sure. Now today we've got about 73 degrees, about 70% humidity, and it was a little muggy earlier on. It's gotten a little windy now, but it's calm at this very moment. It's not a fast burning cigar. I don't think that it's burning slowly, but I don't think it has anything to do with the humidity. It's burning the same way it did before. And that it has its, nice steady pace where all the flavors kind of develop and come forward. That citrus note is still driving the flavor profile right now. And going back to Eric Espinosa and his secret Brazilian wrapper from Bahia, obviously I've got to do more digging because I've got to find out more about this particular Brazilian tobacco. Why is it so secret? Why does it give off a citrusy flavor? Or is that just the blend? Those things I said to myself, I'm going to save for the double Robusto. But for this cigar, I just kind of wanted to share my experience with it and what I thought about it, because I really, really like this cigar. I really do. It's something different, and it's definitely something I'm liking right now. So apart from the citrus, apart from the cedar and the salty uh, wood notes that I've gotten, as transitions go forward, you're going to get a little bit of pepper, and you'll get pepper and earth, and then you will get that cedar again, followed by that citrus note. And I think it just works well together. It really, if you told me on paper, I'd say, no, I don't see how this is going to work out. This doesn't sound like, or doesn't read like it's going to taste good. But it really does. And it has moments where you get a little bit of sweetness. It's like a sweet and salty uh, finish, and I don't know. It's this balancing act that it's doing, and it's like on a high wire, but it's it's really good. It's really good. Folks, I had this cigar at 6869 RH for the month and a half that I kept it in the humidor. Slightly higher RH than normal. I did want to see how it would taste at this RH level because the previous one was at 66, 67. Not much of a difference, right? But we play around with the RHs sometimes and we look, those of you watching, the RH, the relative humidity, and how it plays out in our humidor on a day to day, week to week, and just how we observe our cigars performing under the different relative humidity levels that we are accustomed to or that we have a preference for. A lot of people prefer to keep all of their cigars at the 64, 65 mark. Some people look for that 65 to 67, like myself. And then some of us want a little more moisture in the cigars and look for 68 to as high as 72. Now, I've never been able to get behind 72, but I'm never going to be the one to tell someone what to do with their own personal cigars that they own and will smoke according to how they prefer smoking. But when asked, I will give my opinion. I'm not being asked right now, so I'm not going to say anything further on the matter. Just what I do. And this is what I did with this cigar, and I think that the main difference in those few degrees of humidity have been that the other cigar burned just a tad bit faster. But the flavors are all the same. Nothing's been lost here. Look, folks, I think I've explained this cigar well enough for you to understand that this is something different, something unique. I can't put my finger on it. I have to do more research to find out. If you guys can get some research and put it in my notes, or give me a lead, put it in the notes, and tell me if you've had any experiences with the cigar, whether good or bad, then I'd be glad to listen, glad to read, and respond in kind. I just want to know what you guys think of it. I already know what Clyde thinks about it, and Clyde and I are on the same page with this cigar. It's damn good. Laranja, Corona, Reserva, Gorda. Excellent cigar. Thanks for the tip, Clyde. Till next time on Backyard Cigars. See you soon.